Hello everyone, welcome to Pro Review. Today we are discussing the best 5 Pitbull dog food. Choosing the best dog food for your Pitbull depends on 2 critical questions. Number 1, is your Pitbull a puppy or an adult? Number 2, are you feeding a large breed Pitbull or a medium breed? That's because some Pitbulls are genetically related to large breed dogs, while others are related to medium breeds. Medium breed Pitbull puppies don't stop growing and become adults until they're 12 to 14 months old. Whereas large breed Pitbulls may not reach adulthood until as late as 24 months. Unfortunately, choosing a dog food that's not right for the age and breed type of your Pitbull could cause a crippling form of hip dysplasia, especially if you're feeding a Pitbull puppy. The dog foods we reviewed were each selected by our editors because they meet OFCO nutrient guidelines for all adult Pitbulls. And where indicate all Pitbull puppies. We've intentionally included a few 4-star selections. That's because many are superior to 5-star brands when you also consider the companies that design and produce them, as well as their cost savings. Now we can start the review.
Product number 5. Taste of the Wild Wetlands dry dog food. The first ingredient in this dog food is buffalo. Although it is a quality item, raw buffalo contains up to 73% water. After cooking, most of that moisture is lost, reducing the meat content to just a fraction of its original weight. The second ingredient is lamb meal. Lamb meal is considered a meat concentrate and contains nearly 300% more protein than fresh lamb. The third ingredient is chicken meal, another protein-rich meat concentrate. The fourth ingredient is sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are a gluten-free source of complex carbohydrates in dog food. They are naturally rich in dietary fiber and beta-carotene. The fifth ingredient includes peas. Peas are a quality source of carbohydrates. And like all legumes, they're rich in natural fiber. The sixth ingredient is potato. Potatoes can be considered a gluten-free source of digestible carbohydrates. The seventh ingredient is chicken fat. Chicken fat is high in linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid essential for life. The eighth ingredient is egg product, an unspecified, wet or dry form of shell-free eggs. Quality can vary significantly. The ninth ingredient is bison. Although it is a quality item, raw bison contains up to 73% water. From here, the list goes on to include a number of other items. First, tomato pomace. Next, we find potato protein. We also note the use of taurine. Next, this recipe lists sodium selenite. And lastly, this food contains chelated minerals. Product number 4. Crave Premium Adult Chicken. The first ingredient in this dog food is white fish. This item is typically sourced from clean, undecomposed whole fish and fish cuttings of commercial fish operations. The second ingredient is chicken meal. Chicken meal is considered a meat concentrate and contains nearly 300% more protein than fresh chicken. The next 2 ingredients include lentils and peas. Both are quality sources of carbohydrates and natural fiber. The fifth ingredient is chicken fat. This item is obtained from rendering chicken, a process similar to making soup, in which the fat itself is skimmed from the surface of the liquid. The sixth item is pork meal, another protein-rich meat concentrate. The seventh ingredient is fish meal, yet another high-protein meat concentrate. The eighth ingredient is pea starch, a paste-like gluten-free carbohydrate extract probably used here as a binder for making kibble. There are 5 notable exceptions. First, we find alfalfa meal, next, beet pulp, next, minerals, and lastly, this recipe contains sodium selenite. Based on its ingredients alone, Crave dog food looks like an above-average dry product. The dashboard displays a dry matter protein reading of 38%, a fat level of 19%, and estimated carbohydrates of about 35%. Even when you consider the protein-boosting effect of the lentils, peas, and alfalfa meal, this still looks like the profile of a dry product containing a significant amount of meat. Product number 3. Dr. Tim's Kinesis Formula Dog Food. The first ingredient in this dog food is chicken meal. Chicken meal is considered a meat concentrate and contains nearly 300% more protein than fresh chicken. The second ingredient is brown rice, a complex carbohydrate that, once cooked, can be fairly easy to digest. The third ingredient is barley, a starchy carbohydrate supplying fiber and other healthy nutrients. The next ingredient includes oat groats, a whole grain, minimally processed form of oats. The fifth ingredient is chicken fat. Chicken fat is high in linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid essential for life. The sixth ingredient is beet pulp. Beet pulp is a controversial ingredient, a high-fiber byproduct of sugar beet processing. The eighth ingredient is rice bran, a healthy byproduct of milling whole grain rice. The ninth ingredient includes herring meal, another protein-rich meat concentrate, with 7 notable exceptions. First, flaxseed meal. Next, we find pork plasma. This recipe also contains catfish, salmon, and chicken liver meals, yet more high-protein meat concentrates. We also find sodium selenite lastly. This food contains chelated minerals. Based on its ingredients alone, Dr. Tim's dog food looks like an above-average dry product. The food contains a dry matter protein rating of 29%, a fat level of 18%, and estimated carbohydrates of about 45%. Above average protein, above average fat, and below average carbs when compared to typical dry dog food. Even when you consider the protein-boosting effect of the flaxseed meal, this looks like the profile of a kibble containing a generous amount of meat. Product number 2, Bully Max High Performance for Pitbulls. The first ingredient in this dog food is chicken meal. Chicken meal is considered a meat concentrate and contains nearly 300% more protein than fresh chicken. The second ingredient is brown rice, a complex carbohydrate that, once cooked, can be fairly easy to digest. The third ingredient is chicken fat. Chicken fat is high in linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid essential for life. Although it doesn't sound very appetizing, chicken fat is actually a quality ingredient. The fourth ingredient includes beet pulp. Beet pulp is a controversial ingredient, a high-fiber byproduct of sugar beet processing. The fifth ingredient is sorghum. Sorghum is a starchy cereal grain with a nutrient profile similar to corn. The next ingredient is barley, a starchy carbohydrate supplying fiber and other healthy nutrients. The seventh ingredient includes brewer's yeast, which can be a controversial item. Fans believe yeast repels fleas and supports the immune system. Critics argue yeast ingredients can be linked to allergies. This may be true, but only if your particular dog is allergic to the yeast itself. The eighth ingredient is flaxseed, one of the best plant sources of healthy omega-3 fatty acids. The ninth ingredient is menhaden fish meal, another protein-rich meat concentrate. With 5 notable exceptions. First, we find egg products. Next, this food contains menhaden oil. Also, this recipe contains chelated minerals. Lastly, this recipe includes sodium selenite. Based on its ingredients alone, Bully Max Performance dog food looks like an above-average dry product. This food contains a dry matter protein rating of 33%, a fat level of 22%, and estimated carbohydrates of about 36%. As a group, the brand features an average protein content of 34% and a mean fat level of 25%. Together, these figures suggest a carbohydrate content of 33% for the overall product line, and a fat-to-protein ratio of about 74%. Above average protein, above average fat, and below average carbs when compared to typical dry dog food. Even when you consider the protein-boosting effect of the brewer's yeast and flaxseed, this looks like the profile of a dry product containing a significant amount of meat. Product number 1, Annamaet Ultra 32% dry dog food. First ingredient in this dog food is chicken meal. It contains nearly 300% more protein than fresh chicken. The second ingredient is brown rice, a complex carbohydrate that can be fairly easy to digest. The third ingredient is millet, naturally rich in B vitamins and fiber, as well as other essential minerals. The fourth ingredient includes rolled oats, which are exceptionally high in dietary fiber and nutritional value. The next ingredient is barley. This cereal grain is of only modest nutritional value to a dog. Next, we find chicken fat. Chicken fat is high in linoleic acid, an omega-6 fatty acid essential for life. The seventh ingredient includes menhaden fish meal, another protein-rich meat concentrate. The eighth ingredient is beet pulp. We only call your attention here to the controversy and believe the inclusion of beet pulp in reasonable amounts in most dog foods is entirely acceptable. Based on its ingredients alone, Annamaet dog food looks like an above-average dry product. This contains a dry matter protein rating of 28%, a fat level of 16%, and estimated carbohydrates of about 49%. As a group, the brand features an average protein content of 30% and a mean fat level of 17%. Together, these figures suggest a carbohydrate content of 45% for the overall product line, and a fat-to-protein ratio of about 54%. This means this Annamaet product line contains above-average protein, near-average fat, and below-average carbs when compared to typical dry dog food. Even when you consider the protein-boosting effect of the brewer's yeast and flaxseed meal, this looks like the profile of a kibble containing a significant amount of meat.
Thank you for watching this video. We will discuss another 5 products about the best food for Pitbull in the next video. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and comment below. Please check out the description to find the product link.